All right, we are live.
Yeah.
Peace, everyone. Unmask here. Welcome to the Drawing Channel. I am also joined by two lovely people, Michael and Chrissy. They have their own YouTube channel, which you can find in the link in the description. So why don't you introduce yourselves, Chrissy? Why don't you go first?
Hello, my name's Chrissy. I'm from Express Art and all the way from down under. So pleased to be here, and thank you very much, Will, for having me here.
You're very welcome. Go ahead, Michael.
Hi, this is Michael. My channel is Michael Grimm with the abbreviation. I'm from Germany, and you might have seen me around in the chat the last time. So this is my first time being with you guys. So thanks for having me.
Very, very welcome. So it looks like we have Anna in the chat. Hello, Anna. Stephanie, welcome. Glad to see you guys here. This is exciting. This is the first time I've done a Google Hangout on my channel, so I'm happy to have both of you here. We're all working on something a little bit different. So as you can see on my camera, I'm doing more of an anime drawing style, and this is something that I've done a long time ago, and I had some other projects that incorporated this drawing. But Chrissy, why don't you tell everybody what you're working on and share a little bit about it?
Sure. The paper that I'm using is Pastel Card by Sennelier. It's quite rough to touch. It's very much like sandpaper. And I'm using pastel pencils, all kinds. And it's more of a fairy-like type situation. I'm really into the fantasy, so I really, really love this.
Oh, that's cool. I have a project planned that I will start on Patreon probably this week, depending on certain things. But that's going to be kind of an elf, a wood elf type character.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I'm excited to start something original and new in that regard. But Michael, why don't you tell everybody a little something about your painting there?
This is Tom. It's actually an oil painting. I wanted to do this in charcoal when I first started. And this is an MDF board, which is 1.40 meters in length, so quite a large one. And I used some gesso to smoothen it out, but it did not really work for the charcoal, so bad idea. And so I switched to oils. And this is actually now the process. And I'm trying to smooth out the face on the live stream now, which is a bit of a strange angle for me to paint.
Yeah,
but let's see. And this is actually one of the models that I've been working on recently. So if you check on my Instagram, you will see that I've drawn and painted several models. And this is actually more or less marketing for the moment. So just to be out there and have some stuff to do.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you like to work mostly with portraits from what I see in your work.
Yeah, correct. So actually when I started, so years ago, I always was fascinated by humans and faces and figures, and I was never able to draw or paint them actually. So it looked like a human, more or less, but not like the human that I wanted to create. So I set myself the goal that I want to become a portrait artist more or less, because landscapes never really gave me the satisfaction that I wanted to achieve. So this is my road to arts in a short form.
Well, I'm right there with you. Portraits and people and figures and things like that have always been kind of the centerpiece of inspiration for me as well. It wasn't until actually this year that I got into doing landscapes using a little bit of colored pencils, but as many of you know, pastels. That's kind of where the landscapes really started to come into my artistic influences.
Well, I did some landscapes with pastels as well, so like more space scenes, because I like the space effect with which you can get with pastels.
Oh yeah.
But in general, so like really landscapes, drawing houses and mountains and stuff, this is not that much my favorite, for now at least.
Yeah. All right, well, feel free to just bring up any topic that you guys want to discuss. you know, the three of us know that this is totally unplanned and that we're just making stuff up as we go. The people in the live chat, they probably think that we have some kind of script that we're going off of, but
No.
they should know me a little bit better than that for sure.
Didn't we agree to pretend at least to have a plan?
Yeah, I can't even do that. I'm so bad at planning stuff that I can't even pretend that I planned anything.
Well, Will, that elf that you were talking about, what's that? Where did you get the inspiration for that?
If I could,
Was it Game of Thrones, maybe?
If I could tell you where my inspiration comes from, you'd be the first person to know, because for me, it pops out of nowhere. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. So, yeah, I wish that I could answer that question, because if I knew, it would probably be a lot easier on me. Because sometimes, you know, I'll just be watching a movie and I'll see like a camera angle or a scene or even just a dialogue that inspires me to create like a scene. Like I'll think of a scene that I want to create in a character or a creature that I want in the scene. It just popped in my head. And this happens with everything. You know, I'll just be like walking down the street, I'll stare at a crack in the sidewalk and I'll be like, I want to do something like, and a whole image will just pop into my head. Now, this happens constantly throughout the day, so I don't have the time to do everything that I think up. But the elf one, yeah, I have no idea where it came from. I think, I swear there was a movie or something that I might have seen.
Perhaps Lord of the Rings.
Well, see, I've watched the Lord of the Rings, but it was a long time ago. Something recently that had to do with elf ears, because I was just going to do a regular portrait. I have a couple portraits, reference photos that I had planned, but I just yeah, I don't know where the elf ears came from. I think I saw it. Oh, now I remember. So there was this video that I watched on YouTube, and this girl, she was wearing elf ears, but she was in somebody else's video, and I don't even really. That's all I remember. So yeah, it was probably subconsciously influenced by that one video that I watched a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. I love all that fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Anne does a whole heap of lovely fantasy stuff.
Yeah, and her work is just amazing. I can't wait to have her on the live stream. I was just talking to her on Facebook a second ago before we started streaming that she's on the next Drawing Journal for sure.
Oh, for sure. Because Anne, I've seen your lovely dragons and they are just terrific. Honestly, I don't know how you did that, and you said that you did it for the first time. Wow, not bad for the first time.
They look awesome. And how long do you need to take to complete one of these? Because it looks quite complicated.
You asking?
I'm asking Anya.
Oh.
What was that, Michael?
I was asking Anya how long she takes for these dragons, because they look awesome. And quite complicated to do.
Yeah, these are definitely the questions she's going to be answering when she joins me on the live stream. That's for sure.
We'll leave that then for then.
I don't know when we're going to be able to do that. I know she has to get set up or whatnot, but hopefully not too long. Unfortunately, I am not able to move any logos or anything like that. I'm not sure what view you are referring to. I think I know what you might be talking about, Anna. Hello, Christine. Glad to see you here. Question for us all: what is your comfort zone, and the opposite? Where do you struggle the most? That's a good question. Michael, you want to take that question first?
Oh yeah, it's easy for me. My comfort zone is people and portraits, and this is also the one where I struggle the most. So yeah, actually this is, I think faces, hands is the worst. And yeah, actually landscapes is quite easy for me in a way, but it doesn't please me so much.
Yeah.
So portraits is my comfort zone, but also the things I struggle the most with, because it's quite hard to actually catch expressions like you want to catch them. And if you want to go like photorealistic, it's even worse than just painting any human.
Yeah.
And yeah, so.
Comfort zone. Probably portraits, but it was never that, but I've actually been doing quite a few. So definitely with every one that I do, I get better at it. The opposite, probably landscapes, and I'm just starting with animals. So that's something which I'd really like to practice on. So yeah, I'd have to say that.
My comfort zone, oh gosh, I don't even know if I can answer this question honestly. I would say my comfort zone is probably where I'm working at right now, like this anime stuff. Like this is where like art for me kind of grew out of this. This is where I started, and then I got into the realism stuff. But for the things are kind of the opposite, I would have to say it's landscapes. Like as odd as that might seem, considering the amount of landscapes I've done this year with pastels and a little bit with colored pencils, one of the things that one of the reasons that landscapes kind of I struggle with, or I feel like I do, is because I want to create a scene that's welcoming and like it has that depth that landscapes have. Creating that depth is something that I still struggle with, even though I understand how to create it. Like the theory behind what makes a landscape picture have that depth. I still struggle in capturing it with people and expressions and things like that. I can almost color a portrait without much thought into it. But with landscapes, I'm afraid to do anything. They kind of scare me to death. So that's where the comfort ends for me. Oh goodness, we got a lot of people in the chat now. So Elise, Moni, Wendy, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Let's see. So do I have any questions? Yep, a little bit of anime drawing today. I have not seen the Montrist, or I haven't read the Montrist manga before. But it's been a long time since I've read manga. Have either of you read any manga?
No.
No.
Manga books. They're like Japanese graphic novels or graphic.
Yeah.
I think I never have.
Oh goodness. When I was in high school, it was just, I couldn't spend enough money buying them. They just have, not all of them, obviously, but you can just find some of the most beautiful artwork in these books. And it's just insane the amount of work that has to be put in to drawing these 100+ page books and having like over 20 different volumes. So you'll have 100 pages of just detailed drawings, and there'll just be a stack of them. And it's like there's just a couple, like a handful of artists that are working on these books, and the amount of, and just the magnitude of them is kind of mind blowing. But the stories, you can find stories about literally anything you could imagine. Obviously the stories are coming from Japan, so that's easy to believe that you find any kind of story coming out of Japan. But yeah, I would say that it was manga that got me into drawing anime, which got me into drawing, which got me into just where I'm at now. I can still remember the first manga that I ever like picked up and read, and it was the Hellsing series. So yeah, it's I have to give credit to the Japanese for their manga.
Is it Mark Criley? Is that his name? The guy that does a whole heap of anime, well, not anime, manga drawings.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah.
a YouTube.
He has
Is
a
it? Is that,
graphic novel that he does as well. I forget the name of it, but yeah,
yeah.
he's one of the biggest YouTuber artists, over like 2 million subscribers. I don't know. I know of him, but I don't watch
Yes.
his videos.
Yeah. Because he's done quite a few books himself, you see. So yeah,
Yeah, I know he has a graphic novel out.
Because I think he's married to a Japanese lady, and I think he lived in Japan as well for a while, I think, is the story, I think.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you would know better than me. I didn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. Maybe somebody in the chat probably knows him better than what I do.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, because he's done all sorts of books and stuff like that. And yeah, and he does tutorials on manga as well, I think, from memory.
Okay, so I have a question from the chats here, which is why do I think manga is so popular? Honestly, manga is popular because it's amazing. You have every kind of story imaginable, whether you're into sci-fi or fantasy or history. One of the mangas that was hugely influential to me was Kyo Samurai Deeper, which is a historical fiction that takes place in the Edo period of Japan with samurai and ninjas and things like that, and it's fantasy as well, mixed in there with some magic and sorcery type stuff. And I bought the whole series of that book in like 3 weeks because I just couldn't put them down. But I mean, if you've never read any manga, you can just look it up. I think there's quite a few libraries online that you could probably find some free books to just get your feet wet a little bit and read them. And you'll probably just fall right in love with it because they're so cool. And there's so many great artists, like just immeasurable amount of wonderful artists creating manga. So the confirmation from Coffee Cat says that the story with Mark Riley is correct. So looks like you know your YouTubers. A few of my favorite manga. Well, I would say my top three. My top three manga would be number one would be Kyo Samurai Deeper. Let me type that in the chat so you guys know. If you don't speak Japanese, you might not know what I'm saying.
Is there anybody who does not speak Japanese?
The second, number two on my list is Initial D. That one, if you like cars and you like, if you like drifting, that book, that series is just amazing. The way the artist is able to render out these car races down these Japanese mountains is just impeccable. Like you feel like you're actually racing. It's drawn so well. The story is so well done. So yeah, that's number two. And number three might have to be Samurai Champloo. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Samurai Champloo. So let's see. I think we had another question here. Question for us all: What are future goals? That's a good idea. Or do you take it one project at a time? So, Chrissy, you want to go ahead and give us some insight on your goals in the future?
In the future, well, now I'm working on a deck of cards, and where I'm actually doing a whole deck of cards with all the picture cards, and perhaps maybe doing a Kickstarter sometime next year. So, but that's a big project. I started it about March, April this year. And so I've still got quite a few paintings to do, you know, doing the backs of the cards. I even thought of doing for Inktober, designing the back of the card in ink, but that's just a thought. So, and it's just something that, I mean, if it kicks off, it does, pardon the pun. And if it doesn't, I'm having a blast doing it. So, yeah, so that's what's going on at the moment and the future.
Yeah, you were mentioning before the stream about your deck of cards, and maybe the topic of Kickstarter, how to do one. You know, what are some good ways of running a successful Kickstarter? But before we get into that, Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about your future goals, what you want to do, where you see yourself going?
Personally, actually, I'm trying to become an artist, so to speak, so that one day I can really live from it, which I'm not there yet. So currently I'm more or less growing my audience on YouTube and Instagram and wherever you can find me. And on projects, I'm currently doing more or less some of my Instagram followers that I already have. So just for more or less marketing, or if I come across some of these models like I'm painting here, which I really like the photos, I just ask them and the photographer if I can use the photo for a painting. And then I usually send it over to the models as a thank you gift. So this
so you send them the original painting?
Yeah, normally I do so.
Oh, wow.
Just for them as a thank you, and to get, yeah, normally I post it on their Instagram and it gives me some more followers and stuff, and just to be outside in the internet more than I was before. So this is actually the reason behind it.
Oh, yeah. So, so when you say you want to be an artist, you want what, to just do videos on YouTube and sell originals and things like that, or
whatever helps. So actually, if I get commissions over time, this of course is easier when you have pictures posted from famous accounts. So these are all about 30, 50, 60, 100,000 follower accounts that I'm painting here.
Yeah.
So you get seen there, and sometimes people ask you, and yeah, Instagram is still new, and even newer is YouTube. So I only have about 180-ish follower at the moment, but it's growing. So I just see where the road takes me, actually.
Yeah. So you want to focus more on getting commissions and doing work for clients?
Currently, yes. So I'm not that much of a creative person. So I'm not an artist that can create an elf sitting in a swamp covered by mushrooms or so. This is not my type of
I see.
creativity. So I'm just more like a realistic painter and photorealism painter. And even creating a background such as this one here gave me a struggle for quite some time. Now it's easy, but this is actually where my own creativity ends. So doing portraits and realistic stuff is currently more or less my personal frontier.
I see. Yeah. Well, we all have, you know, a different style that leads us to different things. Like for me, for instance, well, I became a professional artist partly by accident, and partly just, you know, threw the dice on the ground and hoped my number showed up. Still kind of waiting for my number to show up, but yeah, like I've always planned on being a teacher, so teaching art has kind of become my profession, much more than I still consider myself a professional artist, but I don't do commissions all that often, maybe only like 3 or 4, 5 a year, perhaps. I focused more on the teaching aspect, which is why I, you know, create these tutorials, and I'm starting to put out courses that people can buy off my website. So that's kind of the direction that I still intend to go, and I think for me that's the best route that I can take, because I'm kind of like you, Michael. You know, my creativity kind of has a limit to it.
Yeah.
And you know how you say that, you know, backgrounds kind of struggle to invent your own backgrounds and things like that. Believe it or not, I kind of feel like I'm stuck in a little box of creativity where I can't really escape from. Like doing drawings like this, I feel helps me feel a little bit freer because I can do all kinds of different clothing, and I'm really good with clothing. I can invent clothes, and I understand how different materials fold and things like that just over many years of drawing clothes. So being able to do that helps me feel a little bit more creative than I know that I am, because I do feel that even I'm in a little bit of a box because I use a lot of reference photos to create stuff, and I'm not one of those artists that can just pick up a piece of paper and a pencil and just make something come out of nothing. I never really felt like I was one of those.
I'm the same too, though, Will. But I've got something in my head, which I've got this image in my head. I've got this story going in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And when I find the image that best suits it, that's when I do that. And then I start to put it together in a puzzle, like a puzzle. And I work through it on the computer and I go, yep, this is what I want, So I already know what the image is going to look like. And I don't necessarily have to do it exactly the same, but I know that it's going to turn out sort of how I've planned it, because you can be painting during the whole process and put something somewhere and you go, oh, that doesn't look so good there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I plan that. But yeah, I'm like you too. I can't, pull a rabbit out of a hat and just draw things. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that do, but I think, you really do need a reference if you're starting to do like realism or in the realm of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, if you've never seen, what's an animal I did recently? I did a capybara.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think, you know what, I have not shared. I only did that on Patreon. I have the time lapse for it, but I've never edited and uploaded it. I just realized that I should probably do that. Yeah, do that. But I did share it on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, the final picture. But as far as reference photos, like I've never seen a capybara. So if I was to try to draw one, it would be really difficult, without pulling some reference photos. So there's times where I think that only with a lot of experience can you really draw something from straight from your imagination. But in the end, I think even those artists that do create something kind of just from their mind, it's repetitive in the sense that, for instance, a lot of anime characters look the same. And there's a reason. It's because it's the same thing over and over again with small variations, small creative variations. But in the essence of it all, it's all just the same thing over and over again. So to create something out of nothing really doesn't actually exist.
It's very difficult.
But when it comes to creativity, actually, where I surprised myself, normally when I read some posts on Instagram about people having art block or something, I recommend them just draw or paint an apple. So just to draw something. And
I always, not to interrupt you, but I always say banana.
Yeah, it's the same. And actually, I was at my parents' house and I don't have all my art stuff there. And I ran into issues because I did not know what I can draw or paint. So I decided to draw an apple.
Should have been a banana.
Or a banana. I did a banana as well. And for those of you who might know, this was what came out of it. So I put in the camera. My Royal Fruits series, for those who have not seen it.
This was cool.
Yeah, it's just some fruits, and I dressed them like royals. And
that is awesome.
A whole series, and this was some more creative than I normally do. But I liked it, and it was fun, and I probably might do a calendar out of it once all of them are done. So let's see.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. So the reason there's kind of a joke, and I don't know how much of an inside joke it is because it's on my YouTube channel. But it's an old video. So there's this old video that I did about artist block. And either of you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I've seen it, yeah.
The commercial?
Oh.
The commercial that I did on my channel about drawing a banana and
Yeah, I did.
getting rid of artist block.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, now you know. Yeah. So that's why I always say banana anytime
Oh, okay.
anybody asks like what they should draw. I always say banana just
No.
because of that video that I made a long time ago.
Oh,
And
wow.
and I something similar happened to me after actually drawing a banana, and that was the same thing, similar to what you did with your fruit, Michael, is like making them royalty. Instead, I wanted to make a bunch of fruit that was goofy faces and had characters to them. And I only ever did one. No, I did two. So I did a banana because I had to do that one first, and I have the time lapse of that one on my channel that I did. I don't even know how long ago, but and then I did one last year of a tomato with a goofy face with it on the tomato. But both the banana and the tomato are drawn realistically. They're colored and everything realistically, but then they have this just goofy face. So it's funny that we kind of had similar inspiration with our post drawing our
Yeah,
fruit,
and
our still life.
here's your banana.
You have a banana?
Yeah, just holding it in the camera.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is great. Yeah, I have to switch screens to see the camera because I have the live chat in front of me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, everybody loves your royal fruit idea. The royal fruit, that's a genius, Michael.
Yeah, I have 8 more of them planned, and then it's 12 in total, so we'll make a calendar or something with this.
Yeah.
And I will have the videos on my channel in a couple of days, weeks, I don't know, to tell the backstory about them. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Everybody that's in the live chat right now, if you missed it, I have the links to both Chrissy and Michael's channel, so make sure you click on those links, go subscribe, and be on the lookout for Michael's fruit series because that's fantastic.
I have them on my Instagram already in this very sped up drawing version, so 20 seconds or so. But the longer videos will come on YouTube once I made the voiceover.
So. Yeah, gotta have voiceover.
Sometimes you don't know what to say. Like you say, and then what?
Oh yeah,
you
know
you get stuck. I always get stuck.
I get stuck a lot too. Sometimes. So back in the day when I was doing 5, 6, and sometimes 7 or 8 videos a week, that was last year. Around this time, actually, last year I was doing a video every single day, which I do not recommend unless you have a team of people working with you, because otherwise you will burn yourself out faster than an Edison light bulb.
Oh wow!
But what I would do for my voiceovers is I would play the video in front of me. It would be like a 5-minute version of the time lapse, and I would just talk at my TV and try to think up anything in the spur of the moment. That way my voiceovers sounded more natural and a little bit more spur of the moment. And then I would just take all of the audio that I recorded and bring it into my software editor, and then I'd chop out the silent parts or chop off like the ums and sounds.
This takes the longest.
Oh yeah, it totally takes a long time. And then, but I did that for quite a long time, and I feel like some of them turned out good, but some of them didn't turn out all that good. So it was kind of a flip of the coin as whether or not I liked it or didn't like it. So after, let's see, after I kind of slowed down, I decided to start doing scripts. And that helps a lot, because not only does it save you a lot of editing time because you don't have as many pauses or weird sounds happening. It also helps you clear your mind a little bit before you record your voice. So I kind of have a script layout in Word, and I just go through and kind of I follow the same flow. I don't know what that noise was. What was going on
Oh,
there?
I'm sharpening a pencil.
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead and sharpen it. I'll mute your microphone.
Well, actually, I do it differently. So I do the video, and I normally put out a 20-minute version or so of the video, and then I make the voiceover. I just tell what I want to tell, and then I make the video match my voiceover. It's in a way works better, not all the time. So at points I tell something that was later in the video and before, so it has not really matched. But as I am not native English speaking, I do sometimes miss the words, and so it makes it easier for me to match the video to the voiceover instead doing it differently.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you do a great job, Michael, because, you know, like you said, English is not your first language. So, my goodness, how many other languages do you know?
Well, the main language is German. So then I can do French. Well, I've had French for 7 years in school, but as of now, I think I can only manage to order some food and to survive, roughly.
Oh, really?
And then I can speak some words Klingon. So for those of you who are into Star Trek, I can speak Klingon.
Oh, I was about to say
that's great. I think you're the first person that I've ever talked to that legitimately speaks Klingon.
Is this a good or a bad thing?
It's a skill. How about that?
It's a skill, yeah. I should put it in my CV, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got me beat for sure. I could probably survive in Japan with my Japanese, but I've lived in Poland for a year, and I can barely, I cannot order food in Polish. But next month, actually, I just got the email a couple days ago. Next month, I will be starting my Polish class on the 11th. So yay for being even more busy than I am now.
And is this scary or exciting to you?
It's exciting because I really want to be able to communicate when I go out, and especially when, like, every Sunday I'm going out and meeting some of my Polish friends to play Magic, and I would love if by this time next year I can just sit down and play Magic without ever speaking English.
1 year, it's tough.
They understand you? Do they speak English as well? Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, most Poles speak English because I don't know when it started, but essentially English is just a class that you take from, you know, the earliest part of school. Because my wife, throughout her schooling, English was always a class that she took.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to in Germany as well.
Yeah,
because everyone speaks English.
Yeah, everybody speaks English. So I don't know if there's really a European country that doesn't speak or that doesn't teach English as a primary class in their school.
The French don't.
The French don't?
No.
Oh, they're snobs. All right, let's see. I haven't been paying as close attention to the chat as I probably should have. So we got some comments here about Inktober. Let me see. Did I miss something about Inktober? Speaking of Inktober, I think I'm going to try to participate the best I can this year. Do you guys intend on doing anything for Inktober?
Yeah, Chrissy, go first.
Oh, well, I'm thinking of designing the back of the card. So I might do some sketches or just like little, I've got ideas of what I want to do. It's not so much a Celtic design, but there'll be repetitive kind of designs, maybe some animals in it.
Mhm.
And mind you, like I'll be doing maybe an A3. So by the time it gets reduced, there'll be, when it comes to printing, it might be, it might look quite nice, but definitely I was thinking of doing that for Inktober. It's not like I won't be religiously doing it. There are people that are really into it, and I think Anne has bought a special sketchbook, and I know that I've seen it. So, are you still going to be doing that, Anne? So yeah, so that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, I think I might, I kind of got inspired today. I was clicking through some YouTube stuff, and I think it's going to be a good opportunity to do something geared around the Inktober, just for channel popularity, that kind of marketing thing. Um, and so I already mentioned that I want to do a live stream every day for Inktober, and after I decided to work on this today, I was like, it's been a long time since I really worked with ink, and white paper and black ink has always kind of secretly been like one of those things that I just absolutely love the way that it looks. And I love getting super clean lines and just like the blackest ink. It's always just been something I really, really enjoyed doing in school and things like that. And I think I'm just gonna go for it. So the rest of this week for me is going to be hammering out the rest of the colored pencil course. I'm going to be just breaking every bone in my back to finish it as quickly as possible, because I want to get it done before this month is over, which gives me what, like 6 days, 5 days, or something like that.
Can't
And
wait.
uh, and so I want to have that done so that I can focus on Inktober, and I'll just go through. I'll do a live stream every single day, even on the weekends. I think I'll even do them on the weekends. They'll probably be a bit shorter, but I would love to do the whole month of October live stream, and do each prompt, each day's prompt. I need to get some supplies, because I usually have a bunch of pens, but I'm only down to 3 now. So I need to get some ink pens. I would like to get a new well of ink, because the ink that I have, it's not really that good. What is it? I have it here somewhere.
Are you allowed to use acrylic ink? Or is it just ink?
I think that I don't think there's really that big of a stickler with the rules. I think as long as it's ink based, but I have this Indian ink that I got from Jackson's, and it is absolute garbage. This is the worst. This I don't even know why I still have it. But this stuff is just garbage. It's not even black. It's just gray, and it literally says beautiful deep black Indian ink, and it's none of those things. It might be Indian ink, but it's certainly not beautiful, it's not deep, and it's not black.
What
So
brand is that? What
uh,
brand is that? Does it say?
it's Ala Pargoda,
Oh,
and then it says Senelere. I don't know. I don't think it's.
Sennelier is the firm, is the company.
I'm not sure. It's a bit confusing. I'll hold it up to the camera as close as I can, but you can see the design on it. I don't know. I bought some ink supplies from Jackson's a while back ago, and it was just, yeah, it was trash. So I think I'll just pick some up at the local art store. Probably this week, actually. I'll go into town and get some ink supplies and prepare for Inktober.
Yeah, I think I won't participate because I never did anything in ink. And I have a couple of projects still on my to-do list. And if I tilt my camera a bit to see how big this is, so there's more going on the bottom.
Oh
So,
yeah, Yeah,
This,
oh goodness, that's actually a lot bigger than what I imagined in my head.
yeah, it's the whole thing. And I have two more of this size to do and some more smaller, couple of smaller things. So I
Oh,
think
wow.
I opt out, I think.
Yeah, yeah, well, that seems reasonable.
So,
That's
but this one here took me already 10 hours, so it's way quicker than I expected it to be.
oh, that is
So
quite quick for that size.
yeah, so lucky me.
Yeah. I don't plan on doing like full scale drawings like I am with this piece here. Now I might just decide to work on a few of my coloring pages for Inktober if I kind of like run out of steam or something like that. But I'm gonna try to just finish a piece on each stream, um, even if it's just a small doodle or something like that. So I'm not gonna go like real crazy with it or anything and do like master works of art because I've seen some people post like Inktober stuff and they're like full scale drawings that they spent like a week on, and it doesn't even so they say it's for Inktober, but it's really um, just a full scale drawing. So I think I'm going to try to keep it simple and just do some sketches for the month. Do some fun
Yeah.
ink sketches, and maybe it will inspire me to do a larger project later on. But hopefully, it will get me just creating a bit more. Try to do stuff without reference photos as well, just to keep it real organic. Let the ink flow, I guess. So I have a question. Is Anna going to participate in Inktober on your couple stream? That's a good question. That might be a good way to start off Inktober. Couples live stream playing with ink. But I don't know. I don't know if maybe I can't make any promises whether or not there's even going to be a couples live stream next month. I didn't even think about that. Now you just made it that much more difficult. Thanks. Elise says your painting looks awesome, Michael, but the posture in which your painting looks painful.
It is actually, yeah.
Now,
Well,
you don't normally paint that size laying down like that, right?
so it's the first one I did actually lying down this size, yeah, but I intended it to be on charcoal, as I told in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And if I did, I would have been done already. So it would have been finished by now. And this would have been taken about 8 hours or so, and it would have been okay. But now I'm standing on the wrong side of the painting to fit the live stream and such, my setup here. And this makes it quite, let's say, creative to paint.
Yeah.
So it looks a bit artistic, but luckily you can see me. And yeah.
But you normally have it propped up on an easel.
The smaller ones, yeah. I do need to buy myself an H-frame easel to make fit larger projects like this one.
Yeah.
And but everything, I think 60 by 80 I do on my desk, laying down like this one, just to be able to film it. And
Oh, wow.
it gives me a struggle at times, but you get used to it.
Yeah, that's dedication.
Yeah, just for the channel, you know.
Hmm.
And yeah, this one is a bit painful, but it's easier this way than having it standing on your ground and you have to kneel down to paint and draw. It's, I think, still the best way doing it like this for now, until I have the H-frame.
Yeah, you're gonna have to certainly invest in that before you have to get back surgery.
Better, yeah.
I feel like I'm getting more done on this drawing here than I anticipated. I don't even know how long we've been streaming. So if either of you needs to go do something, because I can be here all day. This is what I do. I just stay in my flat and goof off. So if you guys have, things that you need to do, let me know. I'm happy to close out the stream. But I don't feel like we've been on
I'm
here
all
that
good.
long.
Yeah. No. It's only been about 50 minutes. No, I'm all good. So
Okay.
Likewise.
yeah.
Where's the time at? I'm trying to find out how long we've been streaming for.
Well, as you started early, it's about 50 minutes now.
50 minutes? Oh, okay, yeah, that's not long at all. You guys can go longer. You don't have a choice.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice to have other people to talk to. Usually you guys are typing in the chat, but at least this time,
That's right.
At least this time, you can still chat, hang out, and work at the same time. You don't have to like stop, pause, clean your fingers off, and then type on your keyboard.
Yeah.
So maybe the next time I could even bump it up and have a few more people doing during the hangout. I don't know if I want to go over like 5 people in the stream. That might be just a hot mess, but
yeah,
I don't know. 1 or 2 more people probably would make the stream even that much more entertaining.
Well, the only hard part is just to know when you can speak, like now.
Yes.
The more people, you don't want to interrupt anyone, and you don't know if you can start talking or not. Or this might be even worse, having more people. But it's fun. It's always fun, of course.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, Wendy says that you should give me some wine and I'll be good, because the last time I was live streaming and Wendy came on the chat and I was talking to her about having a glass of wine while I was painting and drawing, and she reckons that I should have. I go, I can't do that. I go, my husband actually said, why don't you just take a glass of wine with you and sit there while you're having a chat and painting and all of that. I go, I can't do that. That's not appropriate. So I was telling Wendy this, and she says, and there was somebody else there that says, oh, well, just put it in a mug. Who's going to see?
Well, so, I wouldn't be. I would totally be up for like a wine. What do they call it? Where you drink wine and you paint. What do they call that? It's a thing. It's a thing. I swear it's a thing.
Is it? Yeah.
It's got it.
Well, because you see, I live near wine country, you see, so every so often my husband and we go to the wineries, and it's a really nice experience because you get to taste wine and it's there's a lot of atmosphere and stuff like that. So that's why we like to do that. And of course, you get to see a lot of the countryside because you'll see all the vineyards and it looks lovely in summertime. Yeah. So that's how the conversation came about. So yeah.
I see.
Yeah. It was very funny.
I swear there's a name for like painting and drinking at the same time, specifically wine. But it escapes me at the moment.
It's quite popular in the US.
Oh, of course, anything that has to do with drinking is popular in the US.
Oh, same in Australia. We've got the reputation for it, I think. Anne is saying that I should just tell everybody that it's juice. So, yeah, good point. Should do that.
It's not going to work now. It's supposed to keep that stuff private.
Yeah.
Well, it was juice at some point, so it's not totally wrong.
That's right. That's right. But yeah,
it's fermented juice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's why that's how the subject came up, because we live not far from the winery. So, and it's nice when people come to visit. We usually take them there, and it's all very nice there. And so probably go out there soon if and I don't think I'll need much encouragement from my husband, so that'll be fine. Yeah.
I have not. I've actually personally have not come across a wine that that I like, that I enjoy. Uh, I'm not much for alcohol in the first place, but if it's going to be alcoholic, it has to be something that doesn't taste like alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, these are probably very nice wines. And, you know, sometimes when you take a sip of something that's, you know, cheap and nasty, it is cheap and nasty. But some of these are actually quite nice to drink, maybe with your food. But then, you know, maybe
yeah,
we go overboard sometimes. Hey, what's that?
we don't drink either. So we have a year consumption of 1 bottle of wine or so.
Okay.
Pretty much no alcohol at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez, then I'm the alco, aren't I?
I don't blame you.
Oh. Oh, dear.
I think we're all kind of concentrated on our work a little bit. We've kind of gotten in the groove.
Yeah, I was actually having a look at the chat too. Alcohol chocolates. Vices. Yeah. Mm,
Wine makes you thirsty.
it
Yeah,
does.
the last wine that I tasted. Okay, well, um, aside from the white wine that Anna and I get, I don't know, maybe once a month. Like we probably go through a bottle of wine like once a month. Sometimes we just want to like relax over the weekend, and we'll just or
Yeah.
celebrate something. Almost every month there's some kind of celebration. And so we'll just have like a bottle of wine and make chocolate cake. And but it's like the super sweet, you know, it's the super sweet white wine that doesn't taste like alcohol. But that's about it. But the last red wine that I had just tasted like firewood.
Oh, okay.
And that was like my one experience with red wine, and since then I was just never willing to try any other uh, red wine because I
Red
had such a
wine.
bad experience with that.
Yeah, red wine can be good for you though. One glass, that is.
Yeah,
That's what the doctors say.
doctors say a lot of things.
Randy makes the most noise, does he?
It's not me. Who's
Oh,
It's Randy, I guess. It's Randy.
it's me. It's me because it's me that's making the noise because the pastel, that's the sandpaper. That's the pastel card. That
Oh,
is
is it?
so, yeah, it is so rough to touch. It is,
Have you used the
oh,
UART paper?
yes, I have. I used it once for a color blender when I was using, sorry, a powder blender, beg your pardon. And I used it then, but that was, I think you are maybe 500.
Mhm.
Yeah, 500, but they've got various thicknesses. But this pastel card, I mean, you can't even get it wet. Um,
Would you say it's smoother or rougher than that UART
this,
paper?
oh, it, well, because I think they've got a really rough one. I think the 200 is really, really rough.
I didn't even know they
It
had 200.
Or is it, yeah, 200? There is a really, really rough one. And then there's
Wow.
the 800, which is
Hmm.
the super fine one. But
Yeah.
this pastel card is probably good for color pencils, I would say. But it would, but that's what's making the noise. Sorry, folks.
I like those colors that you're using. They're very bronze. It looks,
Yes, it's like,
in the camera, it looks very bronze.
yeah, they're this is Bronzil pastel pencil. That's like a skin color tone. And there's pastel pencil, Faber-Castell, and Stabilo Carbothellos as well. So yeah, and it's almost monochromatic what I'm doing here, isn't it? I'm only
Yeah.
choosing three. I'm only choosing three colors.
Uh,
So
and what is
but
that? Is that a headpiece kind of thing
yes,
that
it
you're
is.
working on right now?
Yeah, it is. It is, and she's got they're like shark teeth, but that's what it looks like, but it's not really. But yeah, it's very therapeutic actually listening to you guys and
Yeah,
and
you
doing this.
almost forget that you're also on the live stream.
Yeah, that's right. Because this is what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so most of the time this is what I do. I'm working and I'm looking at the same time. So, and that's the good thing. I really enjoy that. It makes me feel like we're all in like it's a family. I think this is what our art group family.
Yeah, that's always what I've wanted to try to create the best that I could on my channel
Yeah.
is a group of not just artists, but just a group of nice, friendly people that like to create and hang out and just get to know one another.
Yeah, you're
It's
very generous. You're very generous with us. So, and that has to be said. So, extremely generous. And that doesn't happen very often. I know that much. So,
well, I'm glad that I could be
yeah,
that kind of person. I don't
yeah,
try to be. I just be myself, I guess.
yeah. And we learn from you too, you know, which is the best part. Well, I do anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah, that seems to be a popular opinion. That's also another thing that I never really get tired of hearing is that people are able to learn things from what I create, what I say, things like that. Because um, in a lot of ways, I don't try real hard. I think if I were to try hard, then it might come off as disingenuous or a know-it-all or something like that. But I just try to give a little bit of my opinion and mostly stick to my experience. And that's where I kind of find the balance is just a touch of my opinion, but focus more on my experience than my opinion. Because I don't want to steer anybody away from anything that they are, thinking of doing because of my opinion. I'd rather just give them my humble opinion and then polish it with my experience instead. But I'm this past year since I started doing live streams, honestly, I feel like it's been more beneficial to me than anybody else because I've just gotten to get to know so many wonderful people like the two of you. I've always appreciated the people that come over to the live streams regularly to chat, to hang out, and Chrissy, I don't even think can remember a live stream that I haven't seen you in. And Michael, I've seen. I think you're kind of new to the live streams, aren't you?
I think 4 weeks now, 5 weeks.
Yeah. So every time I've seen you come across in the live chat, it's been every week consistently for at least a month now. So. It's people like you that come over to the live stream that just make it what it is. So I can't take too much credit. I have to give credit back to the people that show up as regularly and just nice and hang out, create, chat, and network. That's another thing that I really like to see in the chat is people talking about their channels and people complimenting one another. a lot of the people that come to the live stream, they know Wendy, they know Anna, they know you, Chrissy, and they're familiar with your work. So not only do people come because they're familiar with my work and my channel and stuff, but because you guys get to know each other in the chat, you become familiar with other YouTubers and other artists. And I love seeing, I love just missing the chat and then going back and seeing the conversations that's going on between the people in the chat, simply, you know, complimenting one another or checking out their channels and things like that. So
there's a lot of support because we're all learning from each other, you know. Many times, like, you know, Wendy will say, you know, have you tried this? Or you know, same with all of the other guys, like, you know, everybody shares a lot of information. It's a great way to network. And, you know, if something's not working right, then, you know, you get a few suggestions on how it might work, you know what I mean? So yeah. I really enjoy that. It's very nice. It's a very nice thing.
I think a few people in the chat agree with us.
Yeah. Yeah, Christine says, yes, your platform does probably more than you realise for people. I agree so much. Yeah. And Coffee Cat, I see her all the time as well.
Yeah, I love Coffee Cat's work as well.
Yeah, she's always there.
Coffee Cat, you'll have to let me know if streaming is an option for you, because I'd love to have you on the live stream as well. I come across her work on Facebook all the time, and she does work like this. She has her own style, which is digital, but her work is just so fun to look at, and I'm sure she has plenty of stories to share about her work, because if I'm not mistaken, she has like a comic or some kind of story, full-fledged characters fleshed out and things like that. Like, I have this character, but this character has no story. This is just something I made up. She doesn't exist in any story, but Coffee Cat's work is a lot of fun to look at, and I don't know enough about it, that's for sure. But yeah, hopefully each week, maybe not every week, but as many weeks as possible, I can continue to do these Google Hangout streams with different artists, so that we can hear from everybody, because that I would love that personally. I would love to do that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And I'm happy to have you guys on again in the future. So hopefully both of you are, you know, willing and
sure.
Always willing. Always willing.
Cool. Yeah, I will definitely keep you guys in mind for the future streams.
We'll just have to wait our turns again. You have to go through all of the people in the chat first.
I'm making Coffee Cat blush. Yeah, maybe one day we can have just everybody in the stream. We won't even have a live chat. We'll just have everybody in the live stream just talking to each other. All 25 of us, or however many. I usually have about 25 people at any given live stream. We have, I think we have about 19 or so now. I'm not sure, or 12. Yeah, I think we have 12. But that's not too many, I don't think.
Yeah, it's 12. Well, it's quite early today, so it's 3 o'clock here in Germany. So in the US, it's quite in the morning.
Yeah, it's still pretty early in the US. I think so as I was mentioning with the Inktober live streams, I'll probably vary the times a bit to give a few more people the opportunity to tune into the live streams. So I'll do one in the evening, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, couple in the afternoon, something like that. Just try to vary the times a bit so that more people get an opportunity to come in and chat with everyone in the live streams.
Do you know where your audience mostly comes from YouTube statistics or stuff?
Well, based on my YouTube statistics, it's all over the world. It's all over the place. Primarily US for like my pre-recorded videos, but for the live streams, it's hard to tell because it I have somebody in like every single country on every single live stream, whether it's India, Japan, UK, Germany, Spain, Brazil, US, Canada, and Australia for sure. So if during the actual live stream, the 20 or so people that are watching, I would say there's probably like 3 or 4 that are US, and then the rest are literally just in every part of the world. I found that like 2 p.m. my time is kind of the best time for me to stream because it gives it kind of casts the widest net for all the people around the world that do come into the live stream. It's still a bit early morning, but at least it's early morning Monday. Usually people are like waking up, getting ready for work or something like that, and they just like turn it on and listen to it while they're getting ready. And then it's your evening, Chrissy. So you know you're usually just winding down or drawing or something.
That's right.
So it's not too late in Australia, right? What time is it there
No,
now?
it's about 11, but I'm always up till late, past 12 o'clock sometimes. Yeah. Oh, and sometimes I forget what the time it is, and then I realize 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I think, oh well, I better go to sleep now. But it, I think it's because I really like doing this, and it just takes you away, and you think about art and what you can do and what your next projects are and all of that. So yeah.
So let's have the live chat give us a quick roll call. So everybody in the live chat, just type the country that you're currently watching the live stream in. Let's try to get a roll call of how many different places we have. Yeah, Wendy, Sheldine, we should do a live stream together. Sheldine and I should do a live stream together. We've been working together, we've did some collaborations in the past, and I'm gonna have to message her and see if she can make some time to do a live stream, maybe in one of her evenings, or I'll wake up early or something like that.
Yeah, she's on the East Coast now. So she used to be in Western Australia, but she's now moved to the East Coast. So she'd be about the same time as I am. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is she more active on Patreon for the moment? Because her videos on YouTube are running a bit thin compared to earlier.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask her what she's been up to, because she's slowed down a lot for her uploads on YouTube, but I think that she's doing mostly focusing over on Patreon. So all her videos are actually private, just for the patrons. So I'm not sure, but I think that she'd be open to doing a live stream with me. I think she'd like to do that. I'm gonna have to message her after this live stream.
I just recently saw one of her videos on YouTube, which was probably meant for Patreon, because the Patreon logo was on there, and it was a 1-hour tiger drawing painting thing, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So it sounded like it was meant to be for Patreon, but it was on YouTube, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think after a period of time, she releases some of her Patreon tutorials onto her YouTube channel. I'm not quite sure. I haven't discussed with her like what her kind of marketing strategy for her art stuff is. I know that she does tutorials in person. She has like this little thing that she does where she holds like an actual class of people in Australia. So I know she does that because I see her post on Facebook every now and again that she has a class started up. So we have Finland, we have the U.S., we have Norway, we have Canada and Japan, and then of course Poland and Germany and Australia. So um, yeah, just about every corner of the world
Wow.
is at any given time, because the um, Christy, Wendy, Anna, Copycat, and Amy, they're pretty much at every live stream. So every live stream has pretty much every part of the world covered. And this seems to be a pretty decent. Oh, and Malaysia, yeah, we have Malaysia as well. So it's tough to schedule around that many different countries. Oh, hello, Bridget. Yeah, so we have Georgia as well in the US. The state, not the country. All right, I should probably do a little bit more work on this drawing here. Do you guys have anything else you want to add to the conversation? Bring something up, anything that was on your mind? I know we had talked a little bit beforehand about some subjects, and you brought up you had already talked about your playing cards. Did you want to talk about
Well,
Kickstarter?
Yeah. One day I'm going to, when the time comes, I'm going to get you to help me or to direct me what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's because that would be the first time for me, and sometimes I might not understand something, and I don't want to mislead anybody in any way or anything like that, because sometimes you think that you're on the right track and think, oh no, I shouldn't have done it that way. You know what I mean? So
yes, I know.
So they're the things that I'm thinking of, and it's a complicated thing, I'm sure. But how did you do your Kickstarter and getting it off the ground?
I've done two so far. The first one was setting up my live stream. So I did a little Kickstarter, just a mini Kickstarter that was for like, I don't know, $300 or something like that, just so that I could help pay for the cost of my live stream equipment. And that was my first experience with Kickstarter, and it went really well. It funded, so both of my projects were totally funded by lovely people here on YouTube. And so the first one was a bit of an experiment for me. And what I did was I went and looked at other people's Kickstarters that were already successful and looked professional and well done.
Yes.
And I copied them.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And what I focused on was making mine look legitimate, because you can go to Kickstarter and set up just about any goofy thing, and it just looks terrible. There was this one a long time ago during this Kickstarter thing that I was working on. I got a message from somebody that was running a Kickstarter, and they asked me to just come over and make suggestions, because there's this thing on Kickstarter where you can ask other people that have campaigns, and they can come over and privately see a Kickstarter that's not public yet, and give you some tips and things, or just their opinion on what it looks like. So you could potentially do that when you set up your Kickstarter, invite people to kind of come over and see what you could make more clear, because sometimes you get tunnel vision with what you're creating. And but I kind of just looked at a few of the Kickstarters that were successful and saw what they were doing that made it successful, and I took the the tips that the Kickstarter website gives, you know, as you're setting it up, like the little tips and tricks that they supply you with, I took those
Yeah.
seriously and just tried to apply them the best that I could.
Yes.
And my main image that I used, I spent a lot of time setting that up and taking the photograph, editing it, and making it look presentable. I wanted the campaign to look professional, and that
Exactly.
way, because it builds trust with the people that are going to pledge.
Yes.
And so that's how I did my first one. My second one was even better because I learned a few things on how to add in images, and I kind of just um, I made the description beneath the video and stuff like that a little bit better. And I made a video and uploaded it to Kickstarter for the campaign video itself. I took the time to add that little detail in. It's not necessary. You don't have to have a video, but I just felt like it was, it just took it a step up. Um, but
I think that's important too. Yes, because what I'm going to do is have all of my images professionally photographed, and the quality I'm actually going to put very good quality. Everything's going to be the best that I can do. So I'm actually treating it quite serious. So therefore, I'll just keep on researching and making sure that I find a reputable organisation that does the Kickstarter for playing cards, and there is. But when the time comes,
yeah, for your project with the cards and things like that, what I would recommend is is um, being as close as possible to having all of your drawings and designs already complete. And if you can, have the entire set of cards already done before you even set up the Kickstarter.
yes,
If you can't, at least have like the whole set of spades done or something like that, and get the actual product in hand. Like get a sample of what the product's going to look like. Have pictures of them. Maybe have a video of you like going through the set or something like that. Um,
yes,
because it shows a little bit more that you're taking the project seriously. It shows people that this product can actually exist if you actually have it in hand, and that's part of the reason. So the campaign that I'm referring to that I added the video to was my pastel course. So I had a video on the Kickstarter campaign page for my pastel course. And I felt like that was a really important element to have because I was selling a video course. And if I didn't have a video explaining what the course was and kind of going through the things, it wouldn't really build a lot of trust. It's like people that, you know, there's people that pledge to all kinds of things on Kickstarter because it's a great way to get products for a really cheap price and also get them, you know, help them be created. And so if I didn't have a video and these people come over and they see that I'm selling a video tutorial course and I don't even have a video on my Kickstarter page, they're gonna be like, well, you can't even put a video together for your Kickstarter page. How can I trust you to put a video together for your actual video course? So that's part of the reason that's kind of part of the thought process that I added to setting up my campaign. Before I made it public, I wanted to have a really nice polished video for my Kickstarter page.
absolutely. I see Wendy says you should do a Kickstarter, and then after it's over, go to Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. I've never heard of Indiegogo. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I've heard of Indiegogo, but I don't think I've ever been to it. So yeah, Jazza did a campaign on Indiegogo. Okay, so Indiegogo, Indiegogo actually lets you keep the pledged money. So on Kickstarter, one thing that you have to be aware of is when you set up your campaign, you set it up for a certain amount, say, $1,000 or whatever, which I think my pastel course was set up for $1,000. And if you only get $900 in pledges by the time the campaign ends, no, you don't get the $900. You don't get anything at all. It just ends, and that's the end of it. So
Yeah,
Indiegogo might be a bit friendlier with the pledges. I'm not sure, but based on the contents of the live stream chat, that seems to be the case.
I'll have to have a look at that up. I'll have to write that down.
Yeah, I really like the kind of the setup that Kickstarter has, though. Even with the stipulation that if you don't get fully funded, then it kind of falls through on you. But yeah, I'll have to also look up Indiegogo. Maybe I'll switch over to that platform in the future for any other big projects that I have planned, because I was actually thinking after this colored pencil course, I probably won't put out another course this year. I don't see that being a possibility. But next year for sure, I'm going to be focused a lot on creating courses. Like I want to create like a part 2 of the Intro to Pastels. Certainly of like an intermediate level colored pencil course. Working on maybe a colored pencil course geared around doing wildlife, or a colored pencil course geared around doing portraits, something along those lines. But I think that creating the courses is going to be my ideal kind of product that I create, because my teaching style seems to just resonate so well with people that I think that's the way that I should be directing my creative talents.
And it's your voice.
You know what? I was about to say that. You beat me to it.
Yeah, I have quite the same. So I feel myself to be in a teacher role at some point as well, because I hear this quite often as well from my videos, that I have such a, I don't know, calming voice and explaining technique and stuff. So this is probably something I can imagine for myself, because you will always feel, I think, more secure behind the camera instead of in front of the camera. So like I'm more like explaining things and teaching people instead of creating fancy artwork, which is just, I don't know, well known in the public because it's something so much different than the others do. I don't see myself in this role. So I think the teacher version is something I can see myself in the future as well.
Yeah. Well, then, yes, also my voice, that seems to be a good selling point.
Everybody
as well.
says that. Everybody says that.
It still catches me off guard even today.
This was actually the reason why I subscribed to your channel in the first place. When I was drawing and painting, I always watch other artists' videos, and you were on my suggestion list. And I just thought, oh, he sounds just lovely and calming and nice to watch while you draw and paint. And this was the first reason why I subscribed to you, even before I watched the video.
That's great. I'm glad YouTube is working for me then.
Yeah, as well.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm scratching the paper again. That's the noise.
Yeah, we can all hear it, Chrissy. Don't you worry.
And Chrissy, you have the Sennelier paper, right?
What's that?
You have the Sennelier paper?
Yes, that's right. Pastel card. Yes, Sennelier. Yeah.
Just be safe to put nothing red onto it. It's the worst you can do.
Well, I've got to try not to blow on it, because sometimes your spit will probably go onto this paper. That's what I've got to be careful of.
I do that all the time.
It's no problem in pastel mud and V10 Touch one, but this NAV card will just lift off the pigments. So the stuff that is glued onto it, it's not waterproof. So they will have just losing the whole texture.
Mm.
This is why nothing red can be applied onto it. So not even fixatives or something.
Oh,
Oh, well, I can't use that paper then.
No.
But you don't need to use fixative on with this paper, so.
No, I mean because
it's
I'm
a
going to
bit-
spit on it.
Yeah, but I don't normally work. I don't normally work with this paper, but I've just thought I always try to break out and use different papers because I reckon people get sick and tired of me talking about pastel mat. But I always gravitate to it because it allows it. Well, it's forgiving and it makes. If I make a mistake, I can fix it. You know. But I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that. So.
Anna says that we're also natural in front and behind the camera, and we're nice to listen to. So,
yay!
Hello, Dragon. Welcome back to the live stream. Yes, it has been a while since you've been here. Hopefully, I haven't missed too much in the live chat. I think we've all kind of been focused on our work. This is actually kind of surprising for me personally, because usually I end up just rambling on for like the 2 hours that I stream, and I never get any work done. But I've actually gotten quite a bit done today. I'm quite impressed with myself, to be honest with you. How about you guys? Do you guys feel like you're getting some work done?
Oh yes, I didn't think that I'd get into doing all of this, so this is pretty good. Yeah, really enjoying it.
I don't know. The detail part is just the worst in auto colors. So I think I make some progress, but I did the whole body yesterday in 8 hours, so I think this went way quicker than this detail work now. But
Yeah.
it's always the case. So
well, the contours from what I'm seeing on the face is really coming together from where you started with today.
yeah,
Yeah, Chrissy, you're getting just a ton done. I didn't think that you were going to get to the face today.
No.
But you're really breezing through that drawing there.
Hammering through.
It's strange. It's quite strange seeing it on camera because it looks way different than in front of me. So the shading is completely different on the video than it is in real life. It's fun to see. So in real life, it's much smoother than it is on the camera. So especially the face section.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get even to inking the jacket on this drawing here, but it looks like by the end of the stream, I'll probably have the whole character done with the exception of her pigtails. But yeah, that's so much farther than what I was expecting to get. I was afraid I wasn't even going to pick up a pen.
And something that I did not expect actually is being here in the live stream today with you.
Absolutely.
Not because not because I've never done a live stream before, which I didn't, but as I've started YouTube only end of June now, so 3 months ago, 2 months, 2.5, I never even expected. Well, you are way bigger and more known than me, so I always felt, okay, these big accounts do not even count on new people on there. So it was really surprising for me that you asked me to join, and it was cool and fun and yeah, encouraging. So thank you for this one.
Not a problem. You know, I have always said from the very beginning, since I've had like 50 subscribers maybe, that I never want to be a channel that is so big that I feel like I ignore people just because they first started. Like it was when I was doing a collaboration or something like that. I never wanted to be such a big channel that people felt like they couldn't collaborate with me. Because I've done quite a few collaborations with people that have subscriber bases all over the place, like anywhere from below 100 to almost 200,000. So it's been all over the place for me, and I've always appreciated the larger channels that were willing. Oh, it looks like we got an ambulance coming through.
Yeah, it's over my place here.
But I've always appreciated those larger channels that were willing to collaborate with me. For instance, Lisa Lockery, you know, I've collaborated with her a few times, 3 or 4 times, and way back in the beginning of my channel, she did a her art critiques. She hasn't posted one of those in a while, but it was like every Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. But she would do art critiques. And I submitted a drawing of a horse that I did real early on. It was, goodness, it was probably the first 6 months of my channel. And I would say like 3 or 4 months later, after I submitted it to her on her website, she did a video, and she encouraged people to go check out the video that I made drawing the horse, and it was like one of my most viewed videos early on in my channel. So it was really great that she was willing to do that for someone that had just started on YouTube and stuff like that. And I vowed to never ever become one of those big channels that just reap all the benefits of having a lot of subscribers, but they never engage with their subscriber base, which is why I'm not subscribed to those large channels. I don't have any desire to be subscribed to those channels, because I don't care to watch their videos when they don't interact with their fan base in any way. So I want to be the exact channel that I am right now. And so I don't even I don't even know how many subscribers either of you have, to be honest with you. When I saw you in the chats and you guys were willing to come on to the live stream, I was like, yeah, all right, message me on Facebook and we're going to get it set up. And that's exactly what I did. I haven't looked at either of your guys' subscribers. I think Chrissy, my guess is that I'm guessing that you have 429.
No, not that much.
Not that. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, my guess, Mike, was that you have 216.
A bit too much, but perhaps in 2 weeks. We don't know.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off.
Well, actually, the largest one that I'm subscribed to is Lisa as well, because she is just awesome. And once I got the hang for her voice, everything went easier, as she speaks really, really fast. Yes. And the second large one is Leontine van Vliet. Don't know if you know her.
Yes, I know Leontine. Sometimes she comes. Leontine, actually, her and I might do a live stream when she gets set up. I've given her some helpful tips on setting up her live stream. But she comes to the live streams to say hello every once in a while.
I've seen her.
Yeah, she does. I've seen her too. Yeah.
And she also has a really lovely voice. So this Dutch accent, it's just lovely.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing her pastel work come across my Facebook feed.
Jazz is also quite big, but Wendy mentioned he's very engaging too. Very busy guy as well, you know. I don't even know how he does it all.
Which one? Drawing by Jazza, or which one?
Yeah, draw with Jazza.
Another
Aussie. Yeah, another Aussie.
The 3 million follower dude, is it him?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The 3 million followers dude, is it him?
Oh, couple million.
Yeah, I just seen a couple of videos of him, but I never gone in touch with him. So just know he's out there, and was a bit envy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got quite a lot to offer. He does lots of monthly challenges. Wendy would know a whole heap. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a few of his videos. I really enjoyed his videos. I actually did a couple of the challenges last year. I did the Pokemon mashup challenge,
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
Does he talk fast? He
I
talks
don't
fast.
I don't remember if
No, he's
actually
just he's totally normal, like
He
he's
talks
totally normal.
average. Yeah. So average, like the average dude. But he must be in around since the very beginnings of YouTube to have such a followership, I think. So probably one of the first arts accounts that were out there to have all the people there. I don't know.
Okay, so I got a question here. Was my first collaboration nerve-wracking? I'm trying to think of what my first collaboration were. Have either of you done any collaborations with any other YouTubers?
No, this is the first.
Yeah, but in a way. So the last couple drawing that I did on the grass, if you've seen it, I already have the video on my channel, I think 3 videos back or so. This was a collaboration, more or less. So
No, I can't say. I'm trying to think of what my first collaboration was, but I would say I can't. I can't say any collaboration has been really nerve-wracking. It's always kind of just been a fun experience. Maybe the 10-minute painting challenge. I think a lot of you might
Oh yeah.
remember that the first time.
Yes.
That was a collaboration with Sheldon, Lisa, and Ryan O'Rourke.
did he win? Because he's so used to 10-minute paintings?
Yeah. But that one, I can't say it was nerve-wracking. It was just fun, though. It was definitely a learning experience because I totally messed up on the first one of that.
Yeah, he makes it look easy.
He does. Yeah, he does.
But I think it really needs practice to paint that small. So I think I couldn't switch over to such a small drawing or painting from instant because I'm now used to drawing and painting a bit bigger as this one here.
Yeah.
So this would be an extra challenge for me.
I need to get some new ink pens. These ones are drying out, getting old. I don't even know how long I've had some of these pens in my desk, but definitely need to get prepared for Inktober if I'm going to indeed live stream the whole month.
Is the Inktober, they draw something every day?
Yeah.
Okay, so I totally opt out.
I'm gonna just try to keep it simple and light. I kind of have this thought. I don't quite want to share it yet, but just this idea of doing it just with a brush, maybe a pen, just dipping a brush in ink and just creating something.
You can do something like watercolor, perhaps.
That's related. Yeah, I was thinking about experimenting, doing some experiments by diluting the ink in a little bit of water just to get like different shades of gray and things like that.
Oh, thank you, Anne. Sorry.
I don't know where I've seen it, but it was another artist video. I think it was from a German one, Lioba Brückner. You might not know her. She had some of these ink blocks, which looked like a piece of soap that you just have there, and it's compressed ink pigment, and you just read it, and then you can use it like watercolor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ink. Wait, what are those? Ink tents.
No, it was really as big like a block of soap. It was some Japanese stuff.
Oh, interesting.
There was a kind of bowl there where you put this block into, and then you make some water over it just to wet it as much as you want, so to make it as thin as you want. this looks pretty awesome. So you can use it like watercolor in the end.
That sounds cool.
In a way like the ink tanks, perhaps. So
Also, a few people in the chat are correcting us on the Inktober thing. So it doesn't have to be a daily thing. It can be a weekly thing.
Well, that would suit me, because I have a day job and I only do my arts at night time and during the weekends.
Yeah, that's helpful for people like you.
And I think about what I'm going to paint during my working hours. So
yeah,
I live and breathe it. Love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think I'm gonna try to finish up our little stocking things here, and then I think I'm gonna call that a day.
Yep.
How's that sound for you two?
Yep, all good. Whatever.
Michael, your back's probably hurting pretty bad at this point, yeah?
Oh, I don't feel it anymore.
Well, okay then.
It's
Yeah,
okay, but coffee and cake is waiting, so fine.
Oh yeah, can't leave coffee and cake waiting for too long.
No, it's the first day of holiday for my husband, so he's just waiting for coffee and cake.
Just sitting there waiting, huh?
A bit, yeah. Watching his clock.
All right. So, conversationally, do you guys have anything else to add before we?
Wanted to. Sorry.
No,
just wanted to say, just say thank you very much. Really enjoyed being in the live stream this time, and just learning a lot on how you organize before you go on and.
Yeah, it's a learning experience for all of us, really.
Yeah. So, but definitely, thank you very much, and appreciate your interest in us.
Yeah,
that's probably what I'd like to say.
Not a problem.
Pleasure being here, and I figured that it does not hurt to be in a live stream, so I might find the courage to buy myself one in the future.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
What I had something on mind I wanted to say. Gosh, I'm gonna need a minute. I gotta think of it. Oh, Michael, invest in a microphone.
I do have one.
Which one do you have?
This one.
The USB one.
Yeah, I do have an USB one, but it's a good one actually. But I use this for the voiceovers, so in front of my PC, and it did not work with the laptop here. So I'm just using my the webcam one.
Yeah.
That's what he means.
The webcam one, fortunately, it works well enough, but I wasn't sure which microphone you had, so that was advice.
No, my voiceover one is my regular one, which you can hear on my videos, which is okay.
Yeah.
And good to use, but I never used this setup here. And if I once, at any point in my life, have a studio where I can have a setup, not leaning over my self-made table here, I will have a look at this as well.
Yeah. Hopefully next time we'll get that sorted out a little bit.
Or I just do a smaller project so that I can have everything a bit closer together.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit smaller painting might not be as painful.
For sure.
But that one is coming out really, really nice. I love working on with oil. What's actually what do you prefer to work with? Because you seem to be kind of working with all kinds of different mediums.
Yeah, I couldn't really decide which one I like the most, so I switch every project actually. So after this one is done in oils, I will do something in pastels and colored pencil, or only colored pencil, or only pastels, or charcoal, just to get not bored.
I see.
So I never, at least the last month, I very rarely did a project with the same medium twice in a row. So I tend to switch, so just to get hang for all the mediums, and it's just fun to switch around.
Yeah.
And each medium, I'm not perfect at all in any medium, but it gets easier in each project that I do.
Yeah. What about acrylic? Do you work with acrylic?
This is the only one I do not really like. Well,
Yeah.
I do like these acrylic fluid paints.
Mm-hmm.
So where I just put everything into a cup and flip it around.
Yeah.
This is just fun and relaxing to see because of this realistic stuff, which is quite time consuming and such. These acrylic pours are done in 20 minutes and look nice or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acrylic paint has never really been one of my favorites either, because it always comes out looking much flatter than oil paint. And I absolutely love oil paint. I miss oil painting so much. I just don't quite have the space for it, which I complain about probably far too often on the live streams.
Space for the canvases, or for what actually?
Just, yeah, the canvases, and really no place to safely store them. I kind of have a spot down in the basement, but it's a bit humid down there. Would not be ideal for storing oil paints.
No, but I recently found one of my top 5 oil painting channels, which is called how it's called? Paint mix paint. Oh my god, I missed it. Just let me have a look quickly. Draw Mix Paint, it's called. He has an awesome way of explaining the oil painting technique, and he's really awesome, like a teacher person, but I learned really much of it on how to use oil paints and what you shouldn't do. So this is my recommendation for oil painting channel, if you don't have one.
Yeah, I started oil painting probably like 4 years ago, and I was just like instantly in love with the medium. I just the flexibility, and some people don't like it because it takes so long to dry, and that's what I love most about it.
Same.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the fact that you have so much time to think about what to do and where to move the paint that I really, really am drawn to oil painting. And I can't wait to move into a larger place so that I can bring oil painting back to my channel, because my earlier videos, I used oil paint in a few of them, and I would love to bring oil painting back to my channel.
And it's easier to correct things. So if you do a mistake in acrylics, you have to paint over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And in oil paints, it's just one more layer and it's corrected.
Yeah, yeah. I like the amount of control that I always had with oil paint. You could make really subtle changes, just the tiniest little change at a time. Whereas with acrylic, once you touch that paint to the canvas, it's kind of there. But with oil paint, you can slowly apply the paint. It doesn't go on. The acrylic paint is kind of like a glue that just wants to stick to the canvas, whereas the oil paint kind of likes where it's at on the brush, and then you can if you have just a little bit of paint on the brush, you can kind of gently move it over to the canvas, and so it gives you a bit more control, and in my opinion. So I've always just enjoyed working with it. So how long have you guys been artists?
I did. I did art quite a lot when I was a young girl, and I started in oils back then, and I loved it. I used to ask my teacher if I could take my paintings home and do a whole heap there, and I just loved it. But what happened was, like what happens is that sometimes life gets in the way, and you know, and you think, well, yeah, and then my husband, I decided to pick it up when I had the time and things were all okay. My husband goes, just go for it, and my son too, who's also a bit of an artist himself, he goes, Mum, just go for it. And so I'm just gone back into it very slowly. I did get back into it with oils, and then I discovered pastels and of course colored pencils, and yeah, about several years ago. So and just slowly getting into it and just doing it quite seriously, I think, in the last year or two. So it's never too late.
Yeah.
For anyone. And I say never give up.
Yeah, I totally agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying much attention to the live chat. I apologize, everyone. Let's see. Oh, so I have a good friend in the live chat. This is his first time in the live chat. His name is also Michael. So his screen name on the live chat is The Gates of Babylon. And so thank you for coming by to say hello. I appreciate that. Honestly, he was probably my first subscriber on my channel. Like he's been a fan of my work for as long as there was work to enjoy. So his comments are dated back all the way to the very first video. And he lives in San Francisco. At the time I lived in Washington State. I always wanted to drive down to meet him in person, but I never did actually get the opportunity to do that before moving to Poland. So just to say hi to him real quick. What is the medium that you mix to oil paint to make it dry quicker? Now, from my experience, the only thing I ever used to make my oil paint dry a bit quicker was mixing a little bit of paint thinner in with it. But I know there is something. There is something specific.
I use this stuff here. I hold it in the camera.
Alkylid?
Yeah,
liquid it is.
Liquid?
Can you see it? Is it holding it correct?
Hold on a second.
And Gamlin make a few products.
Yeah, that liquid.
Yeah, Gamlin has one as well.
I think the alkaline is the oil that you mix in to make it actually dry slower.
Which one?
Alkyd? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm reading it from the live chat, but I know there's there's just a whole bunch of stuff you can mix in with oil paint to either make it dry faster or dry slower. I like to use the Galcalid. I think it was called Galcalid.
That's right.
It's an oil. Use it for glazing. It's a really like thick, kind of almost honey texture. But it's been I've been out of oil painting for so long. I don't even really know anything about it anymore. Probably have to relearn the entire process over again once I pick up oil painting. All right, I am coming up on the inking process of her stockings here, so I'm guessing maybe another 5-10 minutes of the stream. So if anybody in the live chat has any last questions for Michael, Chrissy, or myself, feel free to ask away, and then we're going to jump off here and go on with our lives, I imagine. Probably, Michael, you're going to be eating some cake and drinking some coffee, yeah?
Yes, and then it goes on.
I think I'm going to make myself a sandwich with some tomato and avocado. What about you, Christy? What do you have planned?
Probably go to sleep.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's getting pretty late there. I forgot. We're keeping you up.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely make a sandwich.
Wine. Anne says wine. Yes, I might just do that.
Yeah. I have to take a look over at your guys' work really quick, since I have the live chat on my screen. I have to switch back, but yeah, the painting is looking fantastic, Michael. And that piece there, I really like what you're doing with the headgear. Now, what material is that? Is that partially her hair being pulled back into a ponytail?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And there's this is probably more on the ivory side. That's part of her headdress. So I'll probably go into the details and maybe just define some areas there. And she's got a blindfold, and
I like the blindfold. I like the design on it. Are you keeping the blindfold mostly white with that darker design?
Yes, yes. I tried to make it different to the colors that are there, so you could actually see it. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
and then
so
what is happening on the bottom there? It looks kind of floral design a little bit, but I can't really make it out.
Yeah, that's right. And there's another, see this bit here? There'll be another part of that here, and it's all part of her dress, and another flower down here like that. So, and then there's this veil. This will be a sort of like a veil as well coming across.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Very romantic and soft. So
yeah, I like.
Yeah.
Are you adding another color? It looks like you're holding green in your hand.
You know what? It's it looks green. It's like a raw umber in the Conti pastels, and I'm just trying to use that to darken certain areas and just define the shades. So
add a little bit of value to
it. Yeah, and use a grey, which is much loved, as you can see. But these are the colours that I've been using this evening. So not bad.
Yeah, you're gonna keep it quite monochromatic the way you have it now.
Yeah. I don't normally do that, but I thought I'd try it this time. Always try to do something different if I could.
Yeah, well, it looks really nice. It has a very kind of a classical Renaissance kind of feel to it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I can't believe I've done this much.
Yeah, I'm also very surprised at how much I have gotten done with this drawing. I need to have people on to chat more often, because maybe then I'd actually get work done. I should be working on my colored pencil course, because it'd be done by the end of the live stream.
Anne has a question.
Oh, I see. Now I have to switch back to the live chat. Question: could you guys make this Hangout live stream monthly? For example, the last Monday in every month. Really enjoy listening. So the three of us specifically, is that the question, or just the Google Hangout type live stream? Are you asking all of us, or are you asking me? Clarify your question there for a second, and then I'll just try to answer that. I would do a live stream with a few different artists every Monday if I could get people to join in or whatnot. But I am totally up to have you guys on, even if it's a monthly basis. I mean, would you guys be interested in doing that?
Oh yeah, that's
Sure.
definite.
I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously, there's no guarantee that goes with me saying that, but just whether or not you're would be available or would be willing to come on again on a monthly basis, maybe.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If
'Cause
it's okay with everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things, like I said, I want to keep it available for other artists to kind of come on spur of the moment, kind of random. So I don't know
Okay.
if I want to keep it like a planned monthly thing, but I mean, goodness, it has gone really well, and I think that the three of us seem to work pretty well with one another. Wouldn't you
Yes.
say?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun.
Absolutely. And maybe give other people a go if they want to, but I definitely would love it. But whatever's going.
Well, I will definitely keep you guys on the list for sure, if I can't get anybody else. And I mean, even if I do get somebody else, I'm happy to have you guys on with that third or fourth person. I think I'll probably limit it to 5 at the absolute most. I don't know if we had more than 5 people on, we might be stumbling over one another trying to get a word in. But other than that, um, definitely gonna have you guys on again for sure. I'll just keep you updated on availability, and you guys keep me updated on your availability when I ask.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just erase some of these excess pencil lines, and so if you guys want to go ahead and do a little sign out, let people know where they can find you, all that fun stuff, and then I will finish it off and close out the live stream for the day. And Chrissy, you can get some sleep. Michael, you can get some cake.
Yay!
So go ahead, Chrissy. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, my website is xrisart.com, and on YouTube it's xrisart. So that's XRISSART. Pretty simple.
Yes, the link to her YouTube channel is in the video description, so you can check that out.
Yeah, and to make it easier for me, my link is also in the video description, I suppose. And if you watch any of my videos, I have links to my social media stuff there. And for those who don't know yet, my abbreviation, this MKLGRM, is called Michael Grimm, which is my name. I just thought it was looking cool when I created my name. So this is the reason why I have such a strange name. So you can call me Michael.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming to the live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Based on the chat, I'd say that most of you really enjoyed this hangout, and hopefully you enjoyed the artwork as well. Both Michael and Chrissy are definitely creating some really lovely pieces. So make sure you go check their channels out, check their Facebook out, say hello, and we will see you next time. Take care. Peace.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.